Hi guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel, whatever it may be. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys like my super simple everyday makeup routine. I'm talking no eyeshadow, medium coverage foundation, super low key. It probably takes me 10-15 minutes to do in the morning, which for me is pretty quick. But yeah, I thought that this would just be a super simple look to kind of get my channel like rolling a little bit, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So if you want to see how I do my everyday, super easy makeup look, just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm just gonna like hop right into it. Quick disclaimer though, I do have my mirror like right here, my little light up mirror that's kind of like in the corner, and then I also have like my full vanity mirror right in front of me. So if I'm kind of like looking in either of those places and like not to the camera, that is why. The very first thing I do like before I start my makeup or anything is moisturize my face. I think that is so important before you go ahead and slap a whole bunch of makeup on it. And so I already did that. I have my face already moisturized. Always done my eyebrows first, and so I already have them done too, because I feel like it's just like kind of boring watching people film their eyebrows. So I did those off camera just because I figured nobody would want to see that. But if you are curious, on like just an everyday basis, I don't fill in my brows like a whole lot, but I just kind of do a little bit in the front and a little bit on the tail, and I use the NYX or NYX. I'm pretty sure you say NYX. I'm pretty sure you pronounce it NYX, but I use their micro brow pencil in the shade Espresso. If anyone's remotely interested in that. And then I also went ahead and just like moisturized my lips. And I have recently been obsessed with this like little Vaseline jar. This is like the Lip Therapy Rosy Lips little thing. So yeah, that is pretty much what I have going on like so far. And then I think we're just gonna kind of get into it. I use a Smashbox Photo Finish Minimize Pores Primer. And I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Basically what it's going to do is minimize your pores. It's gonna fill them in and make your face, you know, your face look smoother. So I really only use this kind of in like that T-zone, and then I do a little bit on my chin and right along my nose, just kind of wherever I have pores that I want to fill in, obviously, or wherever I tend to get a little more oily. So I do have, I would say, like combination oily skin. I do occasionally get like dry spots like in the winter and things like that, but I also kind of usually err on the side of a little bit more oily of skin. Primer and foundation both are kind of one of those things that it's pretty subjective like to the person. So like what works for me might not work for you if we don't have similar skin. So but this one is a really great one if you want to kind of smooth out your pores, and if you have a little bit more oily of skin. I really like this one. I have been using this for, I mean, years, and I use it like no matter what foundation I use, no matter if I'm going for full coverage or medium coverage. That's the primer I like to use. So for foundation, on an everyday basis, I really don't go for something that's like super full coverage and super matte and intense, because it's just a lot for my skin every single day. This is the Clinique Even Better Foundation. I feel like this is actually a pretty popular foundation. I just started using it, I'd say about 6 months ago maybe. I really like revamped my everyday kind of makeup look, and I got this one. Again, if anyone's curious, I am using the shade Biscuit. So I'm just gonna take some, like, I'm like almost out of this. I literally just ordered a new one a few days ago. But okay, my hair on my ear, or hair on my hair on my face. Okay, so then I'm gonna take it and I just kind of dab it all around my face. This is, like I said, it's just a good one for if you want something that's gonna kind of even out your skin tone, smooth it out, you know, provide a little bit of coverage, kind of make everything kind of, like I said, even. This is a really good one. And then I'm gonna take my foundation brush. I know, you know, the Beauty Blender thing is huge. Depending on the foundation, I kind of alternate between like what I use to apply it. So when I'm doing a more medium kind of coverage one, I like to use the brush. That's personal preference. If you are like ride or die for your Beauty Blender and you don't want to use anything else, use your Beauty Blender. That is perfectly okay. Okay, so this is kind of the foundation, all kind of blended in. So, I use like literally everybody and their mother, the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is hands down the best concealer I have ever used. I will never ever go back to anything else because the stuff rocks. So, I'm using the shade Light Medium Sand. I'm giving you these shades. I don't really know if people care or if that's really relevant, but I just figured in case you think you have similar like skin tone and undertones to me, like maybe you'd want to know. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pop some on my chin. This is, I should say, a very full coverage concealer. Like it's no joke. And so for me, that's kind of nice, because when I'm using a foundation that isn't so full coverage, this kind of makes up for that a little bit. It kind of gives me just a little bit more coverage, but like doesn't take it, you know, over the top or anything. So, go over my nose, like that. Okay, so concealer is on. Now I'm going to blend again. I blend my concealer with a brush, which is kind of something new. I started doing in the last, I don't know, probably 6 months again. But again, if you like your Beauty Blender, go ahead and use that as well. This whole like putting the concealer under your eyes and the center of forehead, nose, chin, that's really just gonna like highlight your face in kind of like a natural sort of way. I mean, once everything's blended, obviously. But that's just really gonna like open up your eyes. It's gonna, you know, highlight the center of your face, and it's just, this is probably one of like, if you're gonna take anything from this video, it's this. It'll literally change your life. So if you're wearing foundation, I highly, highly, highly recommend doing that concealer trick and like highlighting your face in that way. It just brightens it, it opens it up, and it kind of just creates like a more like awake sort of look. So moving on, I don't know if like the camera's picking it up very well, but at least like when I look at the mirror or when I look at the camera, I can definitely see how my eyelids do not match my face, like at all. Like my eyelids are red, they're kind of like veiny, it is what it is. But when you're doing a look that's like not eyeshadow, pretty low key, pretty simple, minimal products, it's really, really, really important to blend your eyelids to the rest of your face, because otherwise they're gonna look a little crazy. So what I like to do is I just like to take my concealer brush that I just got done using. It doesn't have any extra products on it, but I like to just kind of like run that over my eyelids, kind of blend it out, and like along the side of like my nose up to my eyebrow. And like, I don't know, I'm really hoping that the camera's picking it up, but like the difference between the two, I'm telling you, this is important, and it took me too long. It took me too long to figure this out. Like, it's just, yeah. So, you know, if there's anything else I want you to take from it, one, it's the concealer trick, and two, blend your eyelids. Your eyelids, they matter, even if you're not putting like much product on them, you know, especially when obviously if you're doing like eyeshadow and things, you don't need to do this because you'll have eyeshadow on them. But when you don't, this is important. So, okay, here we go. Now, moving on to setting powder. So, I use the Airspun loose face powder, and I use the shade Translucent Extra Coverage. That probably started using this, like, I would say maybe 2 years ago, and it's like quickly become like my favorite setting powder. And the best part is that it's not gonna cost, you know, $20 to $30. Okay, so the face is set, but now because I also put some product on my eyelids, I also tend to have eyelids that kind of can be a little bit oily as well, like the rest of my skin. So I also like to go in with like a little smaller brush and kind of set them with the same powder, just like I did my face. Okay, so I literally had to put my hair up in a pony because it was just getting so hot in here. But we're moving on to bronzer. I promise you we're almost done. But this is like literally my second favorite step of doing my makeup. I think it just transforms your face. It adds warmth. It's everything. I love doing bronzer. So I'm using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. And mine is like the medium shade. They kind of have weird shades. I think they really basically have a light, medium, dark. And basically when it comes to bronzer, you kind of want to make like a 3 with it. So forehead, down, cheekbones, down, jawline. So that's kind of, if you're new to bronzer, that is kind of the, I don't know, the structure or whatever to kind of keep in mind. And yeah, I kind of bounce around, like, while yes, this is kind of the general, you know, shape you want to go in, sometimes I'll do my forehead, then I'll bounce onto my jawline, and then I'll kind of do cheekbones. I mean, kind of whatever order you want to do it in, just so like you kind of hit all of those 3 spots. It's whatever works for you. Makeup is kind of one of those things where there's really no rules. There's really no like specific way that you need to do anything. Like, if something works for you, do it. If it doesn't work for someone else, that's okay. Like, just however you want to do it, however it works for you, that's what you go with. It doesn't have to be like that serious. It doesn't have to be that perfect. It can just be whatever. Okay, so now on a pretty, not clean brush, but like I haven't dipped it back in the product at all. I just kind of like to go on the sides of my nose. I don't contour my nose or anything, but I do like to bring a little bit of warmth to my nose, kind of like the center of my face. So I like to just kind of take the brush and go on both sides just to kind of warm it up a little bit. Okay, almost done. Next, we're gonna move on to blush. And actually, recently I have been kind of not skipping blush because I think it can definitely, it adds a lot to your face, adds a lot of color and warmth. But I've just been going a lot lighter on it because I think it kind of just makes it look a little bit more natural and stuff on the day that I'm not going with a whole lot. So I'm gonna, So I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12 Hour Blush in the shade Risque. So yeah, I just kind of go in there, grab just a little bit. Like I said, I just like haven't been doing a whole lot of blush lately. I don't know. There's a blush. Okay, moving on to one of the last steps, and that is highlighting. So I know when people think probably like an everyday kind of look, that you probably don't think of like doing a full highlight and things like that. And I didn't either for the longest time, but I just have found that it just adds like kind of a glow to the skin that is really pretty, even though it's a minimal look, even though you're wearing it on an everyday basis. It doesn't have to be one of those like bam, like beaming highlights that like literally you can see from outer space. Like it doesn't have to be that intense, so it can still like work with a minimal look. But it just adds like a really pretty glow to your face. So I'm using the Becca Champagne Pop highlighter for this. And I just kind of go over the tops of my cheekbones. You can kind of lightly, again, it doesn't have to be super, let me get like up close here. It doesn't have to be super intense, just like, you know, just like a little glow. And then I always kind of pop a little in the middle of my nose and on my cupid's bow. And I mean, if you want, you can kind of do some on your forehead, but I usually just keep it to that. So there's really only like 3 things left to do, and one of them is brow gel. This honestly is such like an important part to your brow routine. Even if you're someone who like doesn't touch their brows at all, doesn't fill them in, nothing, good for you. I wish I could do that. Brow gel is still a really bomb product to use because it can tame your brow hairs. It can help shape them. It can help, you know, make them look more natural. Brow gel is your friend. And like I said, even if you don't fill your brows in much, it can still be a really like useful product. So I just want to flip everything up and go to the middle. And I am using the Anastasia of Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. Obviously, if you can get it in, you know, so it has a little bit of color to it. But I love the clear one. So that is pretty much it. I'm just gonna set my face with the Urban Decay De-Slick makeup setting spray. This is an oil control. This is an oil control setting spray. So again, if you have more oily skin like myself, this is the good one. But I mean, there's so many setting sprays that you can use. It's really personal preference, although I do recommend using them. Okay, so last step, I promise, is mascara. So the thing about my mascara routine is that it is so ridiculously high maintenance that it's annoying. And I wish it wasn't this way. Like, I wish I didn't have to use 2 mascaras, but I got kind of hooked on using 2 on a whim, and I haven't gone back since. So the first one I go in with is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I mean, again, kind of like the Shape Tape. You've probably heard of this stuff before. And I like it, but I also like to layer it with the Voluminous Lash Paradise. Again, kind of another iconic mascara, and the two of them together are like a match made in heaven. But obviously, like, most people don't want to take the time to use two mascaras. I totally get that. If I were to like recommend one to you guys, I would definitely recommend the Voluminous Lash Paradise one. This is, for one, a lot of people consider this a dupe for the Better Than Sex one, and I tend to agree. I actually, if like I had to pick one to use, it would be this one, hands down. Okay, this is gonna be kind of tricky, so I'm gonna have to like look in my mirror for this, but basically what I'll do is kind of go in with this mascara and just get like an initial coat on my lashes. Okay, so I have that kind of initial coat on it, and you can kind of see the difference. This eye obviously doesn't have anything, and this one obviously does. So I'm gonna go into the other one quick. Okay, so once I have the Better Than Sex mascara on both eyes, then I like to go in with the Voluminous Lash Paradise. And the reason why I like to layer them is because this one does tend to be a little clumpy. I mean, like, I don't know if you can tell, but this one just has a lot of product on it. So it like can tend to make my lashes a little bit like clumpy. So that's why I like to go in first with the Better Than Sex one, because this one is like not clumpy at all. And kind of get that first coat, kind of get all the lashes separated. However, this guy has like the best, like if you're going for black lashes that are super dark, this is the mascara. Where the Better Than Sex one, I just find isn't super pigmented. I don't know why, no matter how many times I try to like build it up, it just doesn't get that like dark for me, and I like my lashes like really black. So that's why I kind of do a little bit of both, where this one's clumpy, it has the pigment, where the other one doesn't have the pigment, it's not clumpy. So it's like it's a whole thing, you guys, and it's ridiculous. I'm fully aware. Hi.
Good.
Aww. Thank you. I'm almost done.
Okay.
So I know I said that mascara was the last step, but I forgot about lipstick. So like I showed you guys at the beginning, I do like to use this like little Vaseline thing, and as you can see, I mean, it does have pigment to it, so sometimes that's like enough. Sometimes I'm like, okay, that's all I want. It's super moisturizing, it gives like a nice natural kind of color. But if like I want a little bit more, I want like an actual lipstick or something on my lips, the one that I seriously wear this pretty much every single day if I'm going to do a lipstick, and this is a L'Oreal lipstick in the shade 800 Fairest Nude. Looks like this. Again, obviously it's like a drugstore find, and I mean, I've gone through probably 5 to 6 of these tubes. I mean, I just keep buying them. So this is the finished product. I mean, I know it's like nothing crazy, it's nothing revolutionary. Anybody could do this. It's super, super simple. But I thought that this would maybe be just a good look to kind of be my first like makeup video that I'm gonna do. And if you guys want to see something like specific, if you want to see a look with like eyeshadow, a little bit, you know, more in depth, a little bit, you know, more to the look, please leave me a comment below. It would actually mean the world to me. I would appreciate it so much. Or even if you have like a video idea that's not makeup related, like please let me know, because I mean, I have a whole list, but like I also, you know, want to see what other people would maybe want to watch. So yeah, I hope you liked the video. I hope maybe you like learned something or got a few tips or tricks along the way. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.